So, semen retention. That's what this episode is going to be about. Semen retention, right? So, so semen retention is like a keyword that's blowing up now. Like it's blowing up. I was like, look at all these dudes like semen retention. I'm like, what the fuck is a semen retention? So I just thought I didn't really watch any of the video. I watched some of them, and then I was like, this keyword is blowing up. Like I told you, like me being in the field that I'm in, I always look at the keyword first because the keyword is going to show you their true intentions. Because if they like you're on file, you're on YouTube. So if you're gonna try to make some money, that's the first thing you're gonna try to target because you're going with the algorithm. So let's talk about secret retention. Is it real? Yes, that shit is real. Like I was doing secret retention when I was working for an escort agency. When I used to work for the models, I had to do secret retention because I was around beautiful girls that were going to perform for guys. So I couldn't release some semen because I would look like a fucking weirdo. I'm around 10 girls. I got it's like my brain was trained different, right? I'm watching girls come in and come out to go perform for guys, but I'm the one who's taking in their pictures. I'm the one who's writing their advertisements. I'm the one who's setting up the phone numbers. I'm the one who's putting out the phones. I'm setting up all the numbers. And, right, then the agency pays for the advertisements, and I write them, and I put everything up, right? Because I'm the marketer. I'm the lead marketer. So I'm watching girls get pregnant. not literally, but I'm saying because that's a part of if you're working for an escort agency, girls are having sex, so some of them might get pregnant. So okay, they're fired, right? They're fired. So she's fired. Another one comes in. All right, new pictures, but they're showing the old girl to the guys, and they're like, oh, this is, and then they send a different girl. Like the guys, they don't give a fuck. They like, I just want to make some. I just wanted the service. And some of them gets up, but I'm just saying. Like, my brain was trained for ping, ding, ding. Fucking 10, like, thousands of messages a day on 10 different phones. And the girl's just looking like, he's serious. No, he's not serious. He's not serious. He's not serious. He's not serious. And I'm just sitting there eating fucking spaghetti or some shit. Writing ads. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still learning in the process. Like I'm learning how to copyright. That's semen retention. That's semen retention, but retention is not the same as transmutation. Like transmutation is what you want. Because that's why I say the key word is the transmutation. Because if a guy has a semen retention channel, he's just transmuting a lot of fucking video. The transmuting is the video. Like when he dropped the video, okay, that's a transmute. Another video, that's a transmute. Even if he's not really doing semen retention, let's just say he starts a channel, okay, day 1, semen retention. And then he goes like, masturbates. Okay, I'm going to do another video. Semen retention, day 3. That doesn't mean that he's doing semen retention. He's doing transmutation. He's transmuting sexual energy to sell you retention. That's it. Like, that don't mean they're really doing that shit. That's why I say making money is spiritual too. Like people be like, oh, that's funny because like if you look at a lot of semen retention videos, it's like it has to be woo woo woo, or you see the guy like their hair is all dusty and shit, and they don't have a haircut. They look like a fucking spiritual leader or some shit. Because you can't sell people anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have nothing to sell. So the transmutation is the video. That's how you're transmuting the energy. It's like somebody who's making a song. You can't make a song releasing semen, right? You have to have a voice and you have to release. That's the transmuting. The release is the song. Just like a semen retention video is the transmutation. Like, you don't really have to be doing the semen retention. Yeah, you might be retaining, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. I mean, yeah, I guess it's good. I think it's good. Whoever is doing it, I applaud them for doing that shit. Because, like I said, that's why I have that series, Perverts Are Ruining the Youth, because they are. So anybody who's doing a semen retention channel, like, shout out to you, because that shit is needed. It's needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if every guy was on semen retention? Like, OnlyFans models will have their true value would show if every guy did semen retention. Because that's why I say it's not that impressive for a girl to make money from OnlyFans. Because if every guy's doing semen retention, then what the fuck? Like, what are they? They're just donating money to a girl, right? Because they don't give a fuck what she looked like or what she has to offer, because they're not releasing themselves. So they don't give a fuck that she looks good. They look at her like, you looking at her like, oh, she has green eyes. Her shit says, I don't know, what's the OnlyFans lingo? 20 pics or some shit, video this or some shit. And you looking at it like, that's all. And you just scroll off of this shit. But a thirsty guy will be like, oh my God, I got it. It is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the benefit of learning marketing in a sex industry, even before you get rich in another industry. Because you really know, like, I ain't gonna say you really know. It's different, but it's still beneficial to know. I think it's pretty cool though, the whole semen retention shit. It's pretty cool, like, it's pretty cool. Like, I think it's pretty good. I think it's good that guys do that shit. I would never get into no semen retention. Like, I would do semen retention. Like, I'm into that shit because I'm like, wow, like, yeah, like, it's pretty good. And it works. Like, it works. Like, if you're doing semen retention and you look, like, I was looking at, I would go to like a Burger King or something, and I'm doing work, like, I'm like setting up my leads, and I'm setting up like different document Google Sheets and all this shit, and networking, blah, 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 because I'm always networking. Like, and like, even like when I'm doing an episode, I'll make a list. Like, if I have an idea, I'll put it on a to-do list because I'm a to-do list guy. So I'm looking around, I'm like, look at all these guys around me with girls. And I'm like, are they even doing anything? Like, I'm looking at this guy and it's like, he's like looking at a table or some shit, like putting his finger on the table, like with a girl. So I'm like, bro, I'm like, what the fuck how much money did you make, like, putting your finger on that table, like manipulating that girl? You know what I'm saying? For that time being. It's like, oh, okay, he wants some sex. So he's just going to manipulate for some time and entertain. And I'm like, bro, you might as well be making some fucking money. A lot of it. Instead of doing that shit. And then I started thinking, I was like, you know what? Maybe that's why these guys have semen retention channels. And I'm like, oh, so now I see. I was like, oh. So now I see what they mean when they say, like, semen retention. Like, that shit is real. Like, that shit is real because, like, when you do semen retention, it's like you have a perspective. You become the watcher of your sexual urges. Like, you become the watcher. Like, you'll see a girl, you'll be like, oh, yeah, she has nice boobs or some shit. And then you be like, oh, you're like, oh, nah, I see why I thought that. Go back to work. And then you be like, oh, that's what semen retention is. You're like, oh, so let me transmute this energy. Then you start thinking like, oh, shit, that's my power. You're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's just me though, because like, I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of put a dollar amount to women. I know that's like misogyny, but I am kind of a misogynist, to be honest. So if anybody wants to report me or some shit, or it's like put me on CNN or something and say, oh, he's a misogynist. And I'm going to say, yeah, I already said that. Go to episode 65 or some shit where I said I'm a misogynist. And it's like, why? Why is it so bad for a man to say he's a misogynist if girls are online making $1 million a month being sluts? But it's bad for me to say I'm a misogynist. Like, and being a misogynist is kind of logical now, because if you put a dollar amount to a girl, it's like now you become smart, because that's what she's doing. If she's selling herself, that's the same thing she's doing. So why would you say that I'm bad if I'm doing what you're doing? Oh, so now it's because you understand my power just as much as I do, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. That's why I say the semen retention, this shit's real. Like, if a guy told me, like, should you do semen retention? I'd be like, yeah, just do it. Like, try it. What you have nothing to lose but an orgasm. That's what you got to lose. But shit, that ain't shit. That's nothing. Like, an orgasm to me is when I get an invoice paid. Like, if I send somebody an 80K invoice and they like, yeah, it's accepted. That's the better orgasm to me than fucking a porno video. That 80K is better, because now I can go to fucking Bali or get on a plane and get on a private plane. And plus I can, well, I ain't gonna say that, because I would just, when you make money, the best thing to do is to figure out how to spend less. That's what you should do. That's what I'm learning as I make more money, is to learn how to spend less. That's the best thing you can do, because then your brain becomes a computer. Like, your brain is like a computer. For real. Because you put a value to everything. Like, you put a value to everything when you think that way. Because the moment you start spending more, it's like your brain is trained. You're training your brain wrong. That's why so many people, they grow broke over time, because their brain is trained to spend, even if it's an extra $2 or $3. Like, you're trained to go forward and not downward. And you see what I mean? And that exponentialness it's like, it's universal. It works with down and up, like profit and expense. You see what I mean? Like, that's just me speaking from a person who got rich slow, right? And invested. That's just how the brain works. It's like, that's why I say, like, making money is spiritual too. It's spiritual. It's spiritual, and making money is spiritual, because you still have to connect to people. And it's transmutation. It's transmutation. Like, it's transmutation. Napoleon Hill, right? Napoleon Hill. That's what I say. Like, semen retention is not a new concept. It's blowing up, but it's not new. Like, if you read Think and Grow Rich, you already know about it. I mean, he didn't say retention, he said transmutation. But transmutation is more powerful than retention. But it's synonymous, because you can't transmute without retaining. You just can't do it.